Yvette, is Rick away on his business trip now?
Hi, Ingrid. Yeah, he just left an hour ago.
I see. This really is an unfortunate situation for you both. To think, my son would get sent 5 states away when you're this heavily pregnant. What was his boss thinking? Would it have killed him to have a little more consideration for your situation? This kind of thing shouldn't be allowed.
No kidding. It got decided right at the last minute, and apparently, by the way they pitched it to him, it sounded like he didn't have a choice. On the bright side, he should be back before the baby's born. I'm relieved by that at least. Every cloud.
If we'd have known he was going away on business at an earlier stage in the game, we could have done a home birth.
Yeah, sorry. And I can only apologize for troubling you with having to help out with looking after me while Rick's away. Sure, you might have already lived with us, but I know you like your peace and quiet. Not only am I heavily pregnant, but your share of the house probably just went up too. I'm really sorry.
Don't pay it any mind, darling. It's fine. I feel a debt of gratitude to you for letting me stay here. A little housework here and there is the least I can do to say thanks.
I'll carry on doing what I can do. I won't leave it all to you. Maybe that will sound weird, but please don't be too considerate towards me.
Really? You mean that? Well, in that case, I'll stop holding back. Let me say something that's been on my mind for a little while now. I thought my son might get angry if I said this while he was around, so I've been holding my tongue. But I can't help but feel you should be making more of an effort to move around and be more active.
Oh, you think so? Sorry.
Yes. It's not like I'm condemning you or anything. I understand your situation. But to give birth to a baby, you need to be fit and healthy, right? How can you be fit and healthy lazing around on the sofa all day? You should start moving around more, and soon. Health and fitness has gone mainstream over the last few years, and pregnant women these days are getting a lot slimmer. You, on the other hand, Yvette, have ballooned to sizes previously unimaginable.
I guess I'm kinda on the large side. I'll be more mindful of it from now on.
I tell you what, I'm going to put you through your paces while Rick's not around. He'll barely recognize you when I'm done with you. I didn't maintain this incredible figure of mine into my 60s by mistake. And I think my expert guidance and endless wisdom could be just what you need to turn things around.
Please go easy on me. You know, now that you mention it, I've been feeling a lot less mobile lately, and I seem to get exhausted after barely doing anything. I'm not even sure I could touch my toes anymore.
Say no more. The key point here is that you need to burn any excess body weight, which means anything that isn't the baby. I know the perfect starting exercise. This should ease you into our new training regimen nicely. You're going to begin by cleaning the hallway floor.
Okay, do you want me to do it with a regular cloth?
You get the idea. I like it. That's how we used to do it in the good old days. You see, we didn't have any of these high-tech cleaning appliances that people are reliant on now. There's no finer way of burning calories than doing housework. It's fantastic exercise. If done properly, you'll work up quite the sweat.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, got it. First up, hallway floor scrubbing.
Be careful not to overdo it though, darling, okay? Going too quickly and tripping over would defeat the object of getting fitter and healthier, so watch your step. My son would be furious with me as well.
You're right, okay. Moderately paced floor scrubbing it is. All systems are go.
Everyone has bad posture from too much sitting and screen gazing these days, and it's said that floor scrubbing is excellent for pelvic realignment. There's no better housework for childbirth. Okay, darling, I'm heading out to buy a few things from the supermarket now, so you get to work, okay? Happy scrubbing!
Thanks, I'm gonna make this floor so squeaky clean you'll be able to eat your dinner off it. Drive safe. Hey Ingrid, you won't be home until late this evening today, right? I was thinking of heading out to the store to buy a few things. Was there anything you wanted?
Oh, you were? Would you mind going to Peep's Bargains over in the next town instead?
The next town? Sorry, I wasn't planning on taking the car. I thought a nice brisk walk would be a great addition to the exercise regime I've been doing. I was gonna go to the local supermarket.
The local supermarket? What a load of nonsense! Just walk! The extra steps you'll get in walking to the next town will blow your neighborhood stroll right out of the water.
Sure, but the next town isn't close by any means, and it'll take a long time to get there. In my current state, it'll take me at least 3 hours. By the time I've done my shopping and gotten home, it'll probably already be time for bed.
Exercise, exercise, exercise. Think of the exercise, Yvette. You might not be ready for any 500-meter sprints anytime soon, but there's no harm in a nice brisk walk for even a pregnant lady.
Sure, I can walk, and I can even walk briskly. But I have to draw the line at 6 hours. That's practically a hike.
Phew, listen to you, you drama queen. The youth of today, I tell you. Back in my day, we had to walk 8 hours to the nearest butcher every week. And you know what? We did it without complaining. Move, you big blubbery manatee.
What did you just call me?
Personally, dear, that's what we used to call fat pregnant women back in the good old days. I'm only trying to motivate you. I'm not blaming you, dear. You're a product of the times. It's not your fault you grew up in an age of loose morals and lack of discipline. But you should know that raising children takes a lot of work at the best of times, and you'll find it a damn sight more difficult with the requisite stamina. It would be wise to get as fit and healthy as possible before the baby's born, rather than waiting until your hands are full with childcare when you don't have the time. Stamina, stamina, stamina.
I guess you're right. Okay, got it. Peeps Bargains it is.
Fantastic, that's my girl. The fruit and vegetables at Peeps Bargains are so cheap your jaw will hit the floor, so make sure you take a nice big backpack with you. I'd like you to get some onions, 3 cucumbers, some tomatoes, a pepper, some carrots, some bananas, and a nice big pumpkin. Nice big pumpkin. Oh, and we're running out of potatoes too, so pick up a bag of those while you're at it.
Whoa, that's a lot of stuff.
Think of it as weight training for giving big, firm hugs when the baby grows up. You have to be careful in case it's a girl, too. She'd be in trouble if she turned out to be a big, porky lardass like her mother. All of the women in our family are slim and petite. I'd feel so sorry for her if she looked like you.
Ingrid, my BMI was normal before I got pregnant.
Maybe so, but now you're the size of Africa. Which means less talking and more moving, manatee. You just don't get pregnant women who look like you these days. Aren't you concerned about how much you stand out? You should know better than anyone after seeing all the other moms-to-be at the gynecologist.
I'm 1 month out. What were you expecting? A catwalk model? Of course I'm gonna be huge. I grown baby in my belly, you know. I really don't think it can be helped.
Excuses, excuses, excuses. Less complaining and more moving. Go, go, go. I can't believe my own son is married to such a corpulent lard machine. I'm sure you're an embarrassment to him. He's just too nice to say anything. I'll tell you this for free. You'll live to regret it if you take him for granted. Don't think that just because you're carrying his child justifies being a porker. You're a woman before you're a wife and a mother, and you do well to remember that.
Right, understood.
Please don't get the wrong idea here, Yvette. I'm not saying any of these things to be mean or upset you. To the contrary, I'm telling you this because I care. But when it comes to exercise, it's important to have a goal. Rather than just mindlessly walking around without any objective in mind, it's helpful to have a reason. In this case, shopping.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let me reiterate, sweetie, I'm only doing this because I care. It might seem like I'm being strict on you now, but a day will come when you look back on this time and think, I have the best mother-in-law in the whole world. I want you to give birth to the healthiest baby boy there ever was. Anyway, enough idle chit-chat. You've got quite the walk ahead of you, so the sooner you get moving the better. Make sure you get back home in time to make us a nice, healthy, balanced supper with those fresh vegetables.
Got it, okay. I'm going. Wish me luck.
Ah, that reminds me. No eating or drinking on the way. You're so porky, fasting for a while would do you a lot of good. Who needs food when you're carrying around all that blubber? Make sure you get receipts for everything. I want proof you went. No slacking. Yvette, are you there? Why aren't you answering the phone? Is everything all right?
What do you want?
Is that any way to speak to your mother-in-law? Start responding to me properly. Who do you think you are, leaving my messages unread? That's disrespect, pure and simple. Back in my day, we got the cane for that kind of thing.
Now isn't a good time.
How could you possibly be so desperately busy you can't reply to your own mother-in-law? You're a heavily pregnant, stay-at-home housewife. All you do is laze around the house all day, so much you'd make a sloth jealous. Are you saying there's something more important than replying to me, your mother-in-law, the head of this house and matriarch of this family?
Wow, listen to the way you speak to her. So this is how you've been treating her this whole time?
Huh? Her? What the heck are you talking about? Start making sense, girl. Hey, Miss Porky, it's our hurry up and get your lard ass home. Oink, oink. How long can it take to walk to the freaking supermarket?
Who's Miss Porky?
It's the cute nickname I came up with for you. Oh, sorry. Did you prefer Big Blubbery Manatee?
You're a disgrace. My daughter won't ever be coming home again.
Excuse me? Your daughter? What are you talking about? Did you hit your head? Do you mean the baby?
Wrong. I mean Yvette. It's been a while, hasn't it, Ingrid? What a shame it is we're talking again under these circumstances. It's me, Vanessa, Yvette's mother.
Huh? Wait, what? Vanessa? This is Yvette's number. It says her name on my screen. You're not fooling anyone. I'd prefer if you didn't play childish pranks on me, Yvette. Don't you think you're getting a little too old for this? I'm home so you can cook my supper. I'm hungry.
Yvette was taken away in an ambulance after collapsing at the side of the road. She's sleeping in a hospital bed right now.
Yvette, is this actually Yvette's mother?
Yes. I'm happy to call you if you don't believe me.
No, that won't be necessary. So Yvette collapsed? I wonder what happened.
Exactly what I just told you. I think you know better than anyone why she did, don't you? She showed me your chat logs. You forced my heavily pregnant daughter to walk 3 hours to the supermarket in the blistering heat to buy your groceries.
Well, I didn't force her. Vanessa, I want you to know that Yvette agreed to go on that walk. I didn't force her to do anything. All I did was give her some advice because she said she wanted to slim down a little. Do you really think I'd make her do anything she didn't want to? What do you take me for?
I take you for exactly the kind of person in the message history I just went through. How many times did she tell you she didn't think this or that was a good idea because she was 1 month out from giving birth? Just a few days ago, she told you she didn't want to go to the soup because she wasn't feeling so good. In response to which you shamed and belittled her into going. How are you ever going to be the mother your baby deserves if you can't even walk to the store? That was your response, was it not? What the hell do you think you're playing at?
Vanessa, please just stop and think about this for a second. Me and you are from the same generation, so surely you of all people understand. Back in the good old days, women carried on doing the housework even when they were pregnant. Unlike the lazy good-for-nothing whippersnappers you see these days, we were always encouraged to exercise regularly right up until we went into labor.
I accept that a reasonable degree of moderate exercise is beneficial, even while pregnant. But everyone's body is different, and no two pregnancies are the same. There may well be women who can exercise until they give birth, but that doesn't mean you have the right to go prescribing grueling, one-size-fits-all exercise regimes to people who don't want to do them. People were encouraged to do all sorts of dangerous things in the name of health in the good old days because information was limited, and the world was rife with pseudoscience and superstition. But we don't live in your so-called good old days anymore. We live in a highly developed age of scientific and medical advancement. I put it to you that you knew full well that the ridiculous demands you were forcing upon my daughter were dangerous, but continued regardless because you wanted your own personal housemaid. Am I right?
It was never in my intention to foist anything on her, I swear. The only reason I suggested she do more exercise was because I care about her and want her to be as healthy as she could for the baby.
Obviously, I don't live with you, so I don't know exactly what this fitness regimen of yours looks like, actually. But I have seen your message history, and to me, this looks like nothing but you one-sidedly forcing her to do your bidding in the name of health, like some maniacal, despotic tyrant. Besides, what kind of decent human being in their right mind refers to their pregnant daughter-in-law as such horrendously rude and disrespectful things like Big Blubbery Manatee and Miss Porky?
No, no, no! I wasn't being serious when I said those things. Me and Yvette are always teasing each other. It was all said in good fun. That's just how we are together.
Something tells me that couldn't be further from the truth. From reading her messages, it seems like she was being extremely careful not to say anything that might rub you the wrong way. Even if, for argument's sake, I accept you weren't forcing her, who in their right mind asks a heavily pregnant woman to make a 6-hour round trip to the supermarket on foot? We'll never forget what you did.
Which hospital did Yvette get taken to? I want to visit her. I'll leave right now.
We'd rather you didn't. In fact, we'll go to any lengths to prevent you from exposing her and her baby to any more danger than you already have, which means keeping you as far away from her as possible. I'll be looking after my daughter from now on. You will never see Yvette again, and you can forget meeting your grandchild. The sooner you accept that, the better.
Yvette, I owe you an apology. I'm so sorry. Please respond, I'm begging you. I behaved despicably. I'm so sorry for everything I put you through. The more I think about it, the worse I feel.
Hi, Ingrid. It's been a while.
Yvette? Is it really you this time? This isn't Vanessa, is it?
No, it's not my mom. It's really me.
I'm so pleased you and the baby are okay. My son would have been even angrier than he already is if anything bad happened to either of you. I was so worried.
I see. But you weren't worried about me or the baby, were you? You were worried about yourself? Your only concern was that everyone would find out about all the horrible stuff you put me through, wasn't it?
Yvette, please. Not you too. Don't be so cold. I'm genuinely, truly sorry from the bottom of my heart. Come on, sweetie. You know I've always been the kind to wear my heart on my sleeve and say exactly what's on my mind, for better or for worse. I understand that it could be argued that some of the advice I gave you was poor, but please understand that I never did any of it with malicious intentions. I only had your best interest at heart.
I see.
Please, will you make sure Rick and your mother understand that? I don't want everyone getting the wrong idea about me. Us living together had been going so well, after all. Neither of them would listen to a word I had to say. They've made up their minds about me, and there's nothing I can say or do to change that. That's why it's no exaggeration to say you're the only person I've got left to rely on. Please, Yvette, make them see this is all, won't you? For me?
I'm so sorry, Ingrid, but I can't do that.
Why not? I thought me and you were getting along so well.
Did you really think that, though? Did you?
Yes, of course I did.
You seem to be forgetting that me and Rick didn't even want you to live with us in the first place. The only reason you got your way is because you used your spare key to sneak in with your things when the two of us were out.
Yvette, please. Maybe my entry was a little unorthodox, I admit it. But surely if you wanted me gone that badly, you would have said so? The fact that I've been staying with you so long must mean you approve.
No, we just gave up in the face of your relentless obstinacy. Exasperation and approval are two completely different things. Besides, you were as nice as pie when my husband was around, so as unwilling as he was at the first, he didn't see any pressing need to get rid of you. Things were different when it was just me and you, though, weren't they? You were horrible. You were horrible.
I was?
At the slightest hint of trouble, you berated me and compared me to other people who would obviously be so much better at doing whatever it was I happened to be doing. I'd never been spoken to with such venom until I met you.
If you thought so, why didn't you just tell me? If I'd have realized I was upsetting you, I would have changed my ways.
You're right, I should have. But I was so determined not to make things turn sour between us that I just kept my mouth shut and endured your abuse until my mind and body reached breaking point. I understand that was wrong of me now.
I'm sorry, I never meant to hurt you, Yvette.
If you said what you said without meaning to hurt me, you're genuinely scary. Because your bullying got about 1,000,000 times worse as soon as Rick went away on his business trip. If you genuinely never meant to hurt me, does that mean you were bullying me without even being conscious of it? If so, you need to go and get your head checked out, because you're disturbed. Are you seriously claiming you didn't realize what you were doing?
Everything I did out of love for you and the baby.
Whoa, you did? Okay, I understand now.
Yes! You finally get it? I'm so pleased to hear you say that, sweetie. Thank you. You're the kindest person I've ever met, Yvette. Thank you for understanding why I did what I did. I always knew you'd see sense. If anyone had what it took to be thoughtful and considerate enough to get through this like a mature adult, it was you.
Wrong, you seem confused. When I say I understand, I mean I understand that allowing you to continue living with us is no longer an option. Besides, what hope for rehabilitation is there for someone who viciously bullies others completely with no awareness of what they're doing? That's terrifying, and me and Rick aren't prepared to live with someone capable of that. That's why you won't be staying with us anymore.
No, wait! Please! If you kick me out, I won't have anywhere else to go!
That's not my problem. Clean up your own mess. You're a mature adult after all, right?
I did have an inheritance, but it's almost all gone now.
Which means there's a little bit left. Great, use it to rent a room and work on getting your life together from there. Obviously, you'll have your work cut out for you, and things will most likely be rough for a while. You're probably gonna have to find a job and actually work for a change too.
Yvette, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Wait a second, what exactly are you apologizing for? I thought you never meant to hurt me.
Okay, fine. Maybe I did know I was being a little hard on you. But I really mean it when I say just a little. I just wanted to keep you sharp so you'd be in tip-top condition by the time the baby was born, that's all. I didn't believe for 1 second it'd lead you to collapsing by the roadside.
Does that mean you were aware you were bullying me?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'll never do anything like that again.
That's all I wanted to hear, thank you.
Does this mean you forgive me?
Like hell it does. To the contrary, it means we have absolutely no regrets about kicking you out on the streets now. Because now we know that you knew exactly what you were doing when you forced me to walk all those hours to the store and when you hurled abuse at me. It means that now we can cut you out of our lives without a moment's hesitation, as quickly as we toss a maggot-ridden apple in the trash.
Yvette, no! Please don't do this. Please, I'm sorry. Surely you accept I was nice to you most of the time? I didn't do anything horrible until Rick went away on business. I could be like that again. No, even kinder. I swear I'll be the best mother-in-law there ever was. Please just give me one more chance.
You think apologizing is going to make up for what you did?
What would you have me do? Other than this recent regrettable episode, I was always nice to you, wasn't I? I always smiled, asked how you were, helped you around the house. Can't you see how remorseful I am? Please reconsider. Please find it in your heart to forgive me and give me one more chance.
I have a feeling this whole thing has taught me a little bit about what it means to be a mother. I now know that I have to be more assertive to protect my baby, and not do whatever other people tell me to just maintain the shallow facade of a healthy relationship. Me, Rick, and the baby are all fine without you, so please leave us alone. We don't need your bullying, and we don't need your advice, and we don't need you. The only thing we need you to do is to disappear into a cold, dark place where you can never hurt anyone ever again, and stay there forever. After terminating the shared living arrangement with my mother-in-law, I gave birth to a healthy baby girl and moved back in with my parents. Ingrid tried desperately to convince us not to give her the boot, but neither me, my husband Rick, or my mom had forgiven her, and we never will. Eventually, she gave up and left. I heard she moved into an apartment in our neighborhood after that. I have no idea how she'll get by on her own from here on out. But to be honest, I don't care. Me and my husband have zero intention of helping her no matter how dire her situation gets. Not only did she use dirty underhanded tricks to worm her way into our house, but she actually had the nerve to launch a vicious bullying campaign against me as thanks for our kindness. Astonished isn't the word. We begrudgingly acquiesced at the time because she didn't have anywhere else to go, and we had a little sympathy for her. Now, we feel nothing. I'm praying with every fiber of my being she stays the hell away from me and my daughter, now and forever. Not long after giving birth and staying at my parents' place for a little while, me and my daughter Holly moved into a new apartment Rick bought for all of us. Life as a new mom with my kind, caring husband and unbearably cute daughter can be surprisingly hectic and demanding at times, but it's built on a strong foundation of love and warmth, and I'm the happiest I've ever been. I feel nothing but gratitude towards Rick and my mom, who rushed to the rescue as soon as they heard I'd collapsed. Not to mention all of our amazing friends and relatives who showered us with gifts and well wishes when Holly was born. I'm moved to tears when I think of how lucky I am to be surrounded by such amazing, kind, intent on returning the favor and letting them know they're appreciated. Most importantly, I'll never expose my daughter to danger like that ever again. At that time, I thought I could endure it, but I understand now that I was doing it so bad for her. I've never considered myself a strong-willed person, but I hereby make a vow to change for the sake of my daughter. I'll never let anyone push me around like that ever again. My days of putting up with stuff I don't have to put up with from people who have no right to treat me that way are long behind me. I'm moving towards the future with a smile on my face and a sworn duty to my family in my heart. I want to be strong, self-confident, and dependable as my hero, who happens to be a certain special someone in my life. Yep, I'm talking about you, Mom.